It's very important for a seeker to know what is conducive to his or her development. Even before we attempt to know the truth, we should first know what is untrue. It's easier to see what is false. Truth is very subtle sometimes. God is very difficult to know, but we can easily know what is not God.
And without much ado, I will continue on our Gita teachings. Today it's going to be a very interesting chapter because today we're going to speak on divine and demonic qualities. What does that mean? Now, you know, in yoga we always talk about do good, be good, right? Why? We say when you act in the right way, you get reconnected to the highest source. It is almost that the action of good actions take you to connection. When you connect with the highest source, then you transcend and you're able to look at the world as if, you know, some people are not so good, some people are good. You accept it truthfully. You don't debate, oh, am I bad? Am I judging people? You're not. You just accept this is the way of the world and you live in harmony with yourself. But before you can live in harmony with yourself, you have to go through the process. You know, and that process can take a long time. So the first thing you have to do is develop divine qualities. Okay, so, and this Gita is written so many thousands of years ago, but all traditions, all religions, right? 10 Commandments, Buddha's Eightfold Path, Yoga's Yama and Niyama, every tradition has this. So, and when you look at these old scriptures, you know why. And it's really easy. As we talk about it, you will understand. Then you know, practically, what do I have to change in myself? Sometimes, you know, one time I was at the ashram. I have to tell you this story. And two of Gurudev's disciples were arguing in front of him. So one came to me and started complaining about the other and listen. And I go, but you need to look at her side too. The other one came to me telling me about the other. And I go, you have to listen to her side too. They both had their points, right? So I told Gurudev, these people work with you so closely. Why can't they get along? You know, they're both great human beings. And he goes, one is like a lion and she needs to calm down like a dove. The other one is too weak and she needs to be stronger and have more courage to not let the other one manipulate her. But because one manipulates the other feels horrible, gets really sad, then argues in a really silly way, why you do this to me? Do you see what I'm saying? But if you have the courage, she needed courage, and the other one needed to be gentle. We have to look at ourselves to see how we need to change, not at other people. Again and again, this is the process that we have to grow. You can never change anyone. And this is so practical. And says, what do you have to develop in yourself? Just be so strong in that. Then you won't be, oh, am I a good person? Am I a bad person? Am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Oh, I feel so guilty. No, there'll be none of that nonsense because you are so well grounded into how you should behave, and you behave that way. Remember, I often say this to many of my clients, weakness is not goodness. Arrogance is not goodness. So how do you do it in yoga? You have to be extremely confident, and the knowledge of the self will give you that confidence, and you also have to be extremely humble. Difficult combination. Because normally when people are very confident, guess what? It gets to their head. I know it all. I'm like this, I'm that. It gets to their head. So, chapter 16, we'll start. Yoga of the divine and the demonic. So the blessed Lord said, Arjuna, these are the qualities of one who will attain a divine state: fearlessness, abhaya, a pure thinking heart, staying on the yoga path of wisdom, no matter what happens, always giving generously, dhanam, control of the senses, a life of self-sacrifice, yajna, a desire to study scriptures, acceptance of austerities, tapas, straightforwardness. I'm going to continue. Not causing pain to others, truthfulness, never angry, always peaceful, shanti, renunciation of the fruits of your actions, tyaga. What does that mean? We talked a lot about it in the past few weeks about karma yoga. You do things because you love to do it. But if you expect something back in return when you do something for somebody, you will always be disappointed. Not always, but most of the time, because there is an expectation. So I always tell people, do it from your heart. Do it because you want to do it. If you are doing it because you want to look nice, or I'm a good person, they're going to hit you right back with manipulation. All right? So you need to be very wise in yourself. And this is why it's so important to know where you are coming from. Are you coming from a place of love? Are you coming from a place of kindness? Right? If you are, don't worry about what you do. Be strong and say the truth in great love. Never speaking falsely or maliciously. Here, it's not saying, sometimes we have to speak with people and, like we have a committee meeting, we have to say when something is wrong or right in the center. It's right to say that, but it's not malicious. We talk about it because we want to improve on a situation. And that is our whole idea of yoga, to improve and to tell each other truthfully what we think, but not in a malicious way, in a loving way. How can we help? This is the situation. How can I better it? How can we help this person? That's not judgment, and that's not malicious. Because what is the final thing you want? What is best for everyone? Many times you all have problems at home and you don't want to hurt somebody, but sometimes if they're constantly hurting you again and again and again, you need to stand up for yourself. God helps those who help. Why are you doing it? Are you doing it to be malicious? If you are, don't do it. Do it because your ultimate goal is peace. And if you don't speak up for yourself, nobody will speak up for you. You can pray for hours, but you think there is this God that's going to come down and say, I'll speak for you? It will, if you speak from your heart, because that's where God is, in your heart. The kingdom of heaven is within. We keep expecting this outside force. The outside force is available to everybody, to each and every single person. God is for everyone, in everyone. But you have to live the golden rules before you can be awakened to this great force. Compassion for all beings. Compassion. It's not their fault. This is who they are. This is because of their upbringing. This is all they know. So even though I don't like what they're saying, I understand where they're coming from. When you have compassion, you can be very brave and tell people the truth. Because that combination of courage and compassion is the perfect combination. Because you are not judging somebody else. You are understanding where they come from. But you are also understanding where you are coming from. Because you are also part of the whole. So when you develop that compassion, so you can see what the person's doing is not nice, for example, but your heart goes out to them. Oh, they don't know better. But if I allow them to continue in this negative attitude, it's not their fault. I'm allowing it. So I need to stand up for it. I need to stand up for it with great compassion. I understand you've gone through such a rough time, but please understand what you're doing to me. Please understand, because I am also part of that divine consciousness. So when you speak to people like that, I understand your point of view. And many people, oh, Nalanie, I think you're crazy because you do this. And I go, oh, I understand you think that way about me. No problem. I accept it. This is who I am. I don't get upset. And then they, are you sure you're not upset? No, that's what you think of me. That's what you think of me. It's your choice, isn't it? And then after a while, they feel really guilty. And I said, don't feel guilty. No, but I really thought of you like that. But I don't think about you anymore. Because why? There's no attachment. There's no blame. There's no, my desire to do it my way is better than your way. Do you see what I'm saying? When we say, my way is right and your way is wrong, it always brings war. This is what you think. Great. I may not agree, but I accept that's the way you think. But this is the way I think. This is the way I think. Bye. No fight, no discussion, no judgmental thing, and you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. That comes when you're very connected deep in your soul to the divine, because you're working out of what? You tell me. Love. And what was the word we used here? Compassion. So you use the both keys together, and then you can really be very truthful. Not coveting what others have, not stealing, not taking, not stealing people's ideas, not stealing what they do, not stealing. Gentleness, be gentle. Modesty, don't be showing off all the time. I did this and I did that, and you don't know what I did, and you all know that. So never fickle. Today one thing, tomorrow another thing. When you're fickle, I tell you, you cannot get things done in your life. You cannot. Because you keep changing your mind. Today you believe in this, tomorrow you believe in that. There's no steadiness. There's no steadfastness. So if you find that you're fickle, oh, today I love this and tomorrow I meet somebody else, make a strong promise to yourself that every time you do that, you're just going to learn how to make a decision and stick to it. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you are. Fickleness. Why? Maybe if I did this, what if that should happen? What if? There's no trust, there's no faith, right? Okay, I made this decision, stick to it. If it doesn't work, you can always go back. You got it? But fickleness, you will never make any decisions and you will never move forward in your life. Oh, shall I go this path? Shall I go that path? 10 years have passed and you've done nothing. Once you get the feeling, make a decision, follow it and do it. You never know what's around the corner. And many times because of fickleness, we don't make a decision because what if? We don't know what if, right? Do we? Any of you know what tomorrow will bring? But if your soul is talking to you and say, do this, do this. If you make a mistake, you just say, I'm sorry. So long as your decision is not based on hurting someone or causing pain. Have you got it? If it's based on that, it never works. It'll be the wrong decision. But if your decision is made on the goodness of your heart because you want a more peaceful life or a better life or, what will uplift the spirit? Go for it. There's never a mistake in that. There is always a learning. Full of vigor. So a spiritual person should be what? Full of energy. Energy. I'm tired. I don't know what to do. Poor me. You won't get anywhere. Fill yourself with energy. So don't be tamasic, in other words. And if you are, do some exercise, do some running, do some singing, and go out there, help the world, start moving, make your body move, force your body to move. Because if the body starts moving, the other thing is pranayama. Pranayama is a brilliant practice. Do some kapalabhati. Builds up energy, builds up energy, builds up energy. Help yourself. Vigor. You need vigor to have inspiration. No spiritual person you will meet will be like lethargic. And if they are, they're not really got the message. Because when you're full of God's energy, you will know you've been sent here to serve, love, give, right? To do good things, and you'll want to do them. You'll get excited. You won't focus on, I'm doing this because this one's going to do this for me. You'll just do it from the goodness of your heart. So because you're not looking for the result, you do your best all the time. Do your best, and then you go. You only have to answer to yourself. And then when you go to bed at night and you say, you know, wherever you are, divine energy, you sit in my heart. In my heart, I did my best today. It may not be somebody else's best, but it's my best. And I always say, I hope you're proud of me. Hope I did a good job. And if I didn't, say, sorry, I didn't do a good job. Tomorrow I'll do better. Do you see? It's that simple. It's so simple. We confuse it with guilt and fear and da, when it's really so simple. Always forgiving. Forgive. Forgive all the time. Forgiveness is the best medicine in the world for anyone. If you're angry with anybody, you cannot move forward in life. So the first thing is forgive. Forgive those who hurt you. Courageous in adversity. Now, adversity happens to everyone, right? Everybody has gone through a bad time. Be courageous. Don't think I am the only one suffering. Be courageous. This is part of my learning. Be courageous. Because if you are not, you'll drown. You will drown. You don't want to drown, do you? If you are not courageous when things go wrong, you will drown into depression. So, again, God helps those who help themselves. Exactly, because where is the divine? In you. So, it's kind of like the example I always use. Oh, Nalanie, I pray every day. God never answers me. Okay, if I sit here and pray and say, God, turn on the light, turn on the light, turn on the light, will the light come on? I have to go and switch it on, right? Poor God gets blamed for everything. When the power of God is in us, when we live like this, full of vigor, then you feel it. You feel that energy. You feel that joy. You feel it. You're inspired, right? You feel inspired. Pure of body and mind. Look after your body. Look after your thoughts. What are your thoughts? If your thoughts are negative, you can hear them now. You're all yogis. You need to know when you have a negative thought in your mind, recognize it right away. Why is this happening? Okay, I can't get rid of it because I'm really not feeling happy at the moment. Fine. I'm unhappy. It's okay. This too shall pass. Now think of beautiful things. Go to the countryside, look at the sea, have a good cry. Have a good cry. Oh, look, adversity, everything is going wrong, but I'm enjoying nature. There is some beauty in this world. There is some kindness. There is goodness. And think of somebody who's been kind to you. Put that person in your mind, and then the negativity will go. Okay, so watch the thinking. Change the thinking. It's very easy. The moment you practice for some time, you can see your thoughts. And if your thoughts are mean or angry, when I'm like that, I don't like myself. So forgive those people and be free. Let them go. Let them go. No hatred towards anyone. Never puffed up with pride. Oh, I know all this yoga, so I am the only one that can do this. Please. Spirit does not show off. It does not get puffed up as pride. Also, it's not sensitive, too sensitive. Sometimes people are so sensitive that when you tell them, correct them even a little bit, they get really upset, right? And that shows a huge ego. I remember when I used to run a shop. Why talk about me running a shop? Talk about Nalanie herself. When I first ran a shop with my husband, never run a shop before. So, of course, when I used to do something wrong, like wrap things wrongly, his old uncle, you are a stupid girl. You come from a rich family. You don't even know how to wrap the tablecloth or the shirt perfectly on the crease, on the line. And I go, because your uncle spoke to me like that. Cry, full of anger, full of hatred. I ended up with an asthmatic attack in the hospital. He was my best teacher. He was my best teacher. He used to scold me every day till one day I said to him, okay, we called him Dada out of respect, I'm going to give you a knife. If you want to kill me, use the knife. I did. I actually took a knife to him. And that was my switch. I wasn't scared anymore. Take a knife, kill me if that's what you want to do. But don't speak to me like that. And I was only 21. So he got a bit scared after that to speak to me in a loud voice too much. He still wasn't very kind, but my best teacher, because you face this for a year. After a while, they scream at you, go in one ear, out one ear. But then the anger still stays inside till yoga came, and Gurudev came into my life, and he said, you have to love those who hurt you. And I go, do I have to? You want peace, Nalanie? I don't want to forgive them. I don't like these people. They're mean. Do you want peace, Nalanie? Yes, but Gurudev, you don't understand. Do you want peace? Yes. Then bless them every day. And that's what I did. Best thing I did. Of course, in the beginning, you don't believe what you're saying, but just keep doing it. One day you get brainwashed. You do. It does work. It's quite incredible. Changing your thought. Not difficult, okay? And then he says, these are the characteristics, Arjuna, of a man or woman destined for a divine life. Live like this, and you are destined for a beautiful life. Isn't that great? On the other hand, Sloka 4, Arjuna, those destined for a demonic state are ostentatious, arrogant, conceited, and ignorant of the truth. Now, these people are destined to live, when he says demonic state, hellish life. That's what he's saying. You know, I always say, and many people have said the same, many philosophers, and even Gurudev has said, heaven and hell are in this world. And when my father was dying, he said, Nalanie, remember one thing, all your life, heaven and hell are here. After this, there is only love. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So there you are, make your earth a heaven. That's our gift. Make our earth a heaven. So these people are destined for living in hell. And you can know, they're ostentatious, showing off all the time, arrogant, conceited, and they don't know much about truth. They'll tell you they know everything, but they don't. 5. The divine habits lead to moksha, which means freedom. The demonic habits to bondage. But don't be alarmed, Arjuna. You are destined for the divine state. Now here, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, don't worry. I know you have a battle in your mind. I know you have a battle in the world. But your reason to go into battle are all good, right? Don't worry. You're not a bad person. Because sometimes good people think they're bad because they have to go into a battle. So don't think you are bad. You're not destined for that. You're just destined to be courageous and win this horrible war. So divine habits leads you to freedom. Remember that. Do you want to be free in this life? Develop these habits. There are 2 types of people in this world. Those predominantly with divine and those predominantly with demonic qualities. I have already described at some length those with divine qualities. If you listen now, Arjuna, I will tell you more of the demonic qualities. 7. Demonic people do not know right from wrong. They do what should not be done and will not do what ought to be done. You will not find purity or truth in them. nor upright behavior. They insist that there is no God, no truth, and no moral order anywhere in the universe. Instead, they say, everything is just the result of lust and sex. What else is there? Clinging to such distorted views, they destroy their own souls. Because they have so little buddhi, they rise up as enemies of the world. They are cruel to others and bring about suffering and destruction. We've had it throughout history, and we have it all the time. We have all these pedophiles, we have trafficking, we have people selling drugs, selling all kinds of improper things, hurting young kids, hurting young women, hurting adults. We have all of this. So much of it, right or wrong. It does exist in our world. So he says, there are people who predominantly do this, and there are people who predominantly do good things. Be in that section and don't get involved with the others. Don't get into them. And you can see their lives are misery. I mean, I've counseled people on drugs so many times in my life. And my goodness, what a lot of hell they go through. They really go through hell. They face people who threaten their lives. They've had guns to their head. They have knives at their throat. Just all for money. And I've seen this so many times. And they come to me and they want to change their lives, because the wise ones want to change their lives because they realize they don't want to live like that anymore. The unwise ones suffer with this, but they think it's normal. Killing people and getting people sick, they think it's normal. But it isn't. It's hurting people. So that's what it's talking. And it exists in our world all the time. 10. Filled with insatiable desires, they are hypocrites who strut around with pride and arrogance. Because they are deluded, they cling to their evil ideas and pursue the unclean ends. Because they're just convinced that they're right. They don't care about anybody else. So they just go after what they want. They don't care about anybody else. 11. They are weighed down by one anxiety after another. When you live like that, you're always worried, right? I didn't get enough money today. I know people who do that, right? Oh, I didn't get enough today. I don't get enough today. So I need more, I need more, I need more. So they create, they try and get more drugs. They try to do more illegal things, traffic more, so much goes on. So they're always worrying about one thing or another, which ceases only at the moment of death. That to me is hell. And still they cling to the belief that satisfying their lust is the greatest goal in life. Satisfying their lust. When you think of lust, what do you think of? Anybody wants to use a word here?
Greed.
Pardon?
Greed.
Greed, yes. Greed. What else do you think of?
Desire.
Desire, you know which kind of desire we're talking about, not the good desires, right? What else? Lust.
Obsession.
Obsession, that's the word. Obsession. Total addiction. That they're so deluded that they can't see anything else. They can't see anything else. All they see is their hell and that addiction, because that's all they understand, okay? So, and they live in hell. All those people do live in hell. 12. Bound on all sides by ever-present attachment to one scheme after another. And they're always thinking, oh, let me do this next, and doing this, and how much am I going to... The greed drives them, the lust drives them. Okay, I need another person to make me happy. I need another one, And that's what happens to them. They have given themselves over to greed and anger. Thus they strive to amass vast amounts of wealth by any means, hoping in vain to satisfy their insatiable cravings for sensual pleasures. All they want is pleasure, pleasure, pleasure. I need the latest car. I need the latest thing. I need the best house. I need this. I need this. I need this. I need this. So much I need. And can you imagine how miserable you be? Even when you want something really badly and you can't get it, you get upset, right? Can you imagine never stopping wanting the best, newest car, the best, biggest house, the best, relationship, the best of everything, because to fulfill, it's not enough. I need more, I need more, I need more. I think that is really quite a sad place to be. It's much better, like Sri Patanjali says, right? To the one who practices contentment, supreme joy is gained. So much easier than having one thing that I want something else, I want something. It's exhausting, isn't it? Even thinking like that makes me feel exhausted. Does it make you feel exhausted? But when you're just content, this is the way it is. I'm just so grateful for my life. Today I had a bad day, no big deal. I'm still so grateful. I'm so grateful. Doesn't matter, it's just a bad day. Why am I going to complain? I'm being baby. Tell yourself, I'm being a baby. Grow up, be courageous in adversity. Grow up, okay, this is bad. No big deal. It's because when we have so much comfort and we have so many things going our way, we forget what we do have. We forget what we do have. So constantly remember, you all know, the practice of gratitude is really important in our lives, really important. And I was very grateful for the many early years. I think this really shifted me. In many early years, I traveled a lot and we did a lot of charity in very, very poor places. And going to these poor places, seeing people with leprosy and all kinds of problems and no food, and seeing the way they lived, and then coming home. I remember saying to my husband, he said, I don't want to go to this place. It's so dirty. I don't know how you go there. You might get disease. I used to come home to my husband and I said, no, darling, please come with me. Because if you come with me one time, you will never complain about your life again. These people have taught me how blessed we are. So you have a bad day in the shop. No business today. We have food, we have a bed. What's the worst? That's so lucky. That's so lucky. We're so blessed. So, sometimes when you see it visually, it's really important. So children, it's really nice for parents not only take them to the most incredible places in the world, but also sometimes to take them when you do charity work and show them what exists. Take them to special needs homes, take them to different places. Say, and then they want to help others. They want to do good. Their hearts are full of, wow, they are confident. I can do so much to make the world a better place. And they do. And they do, because they've been shown this. But if you give them only the best of everything, something goes wrong. They have no strength. And parents today want to do, if the child is suffering, oh, my poor child, I'll give you this, stop crying, I'll give you this. No. You guys suffer, right? But you get through them. Am I right, Alice? Am I right? Yeah, you get through it. You're strong. And then if you can't, you call your granny or you call somebody and say, can you help me, please? I can't do it today. I can't do it today. Can you help me, please? Mom, I can't do it today. Can you? That's all, but you'll get through it. And parents should say, it's suffering, that is not a bad thing. It makes you strong. It makes you strong. It really is not a bad thing. And you know what? When you become strong, you like yourself. You like and respect yourself. Are you seeing that? If you can be courageous in adversity, you will see that nothing is adverse and everything is to benefit you if you build yourself up. But give yourself time. Don't judge yourself. Oh, I can't do it. I'm too weak. No, I'm weak today. Tomorrow I'll be stronger. Okay, maybe it takes me 6 months or a year, but every day I'm training myself. I'm training myself. Trust. God is in me. That energy is in me. Trust it. I will get through it. I'm training myself. You got it? Train spiritually, emotionally. And if you can't get a good friend, somebody who will lift you, not put you down, Or not say, poor you, your life is such hell. Listen, don't make any comments, and then go, there is a way out. There is a way out. If you want a way out, I'm your friend. I can show you how to get there. But there is a way out. So, these people are really bound. 13. They say, today I got this. Tomorrow I will have that. This is mine. And that wealth also will soon be mine. So, again, arrogance. I have already killed that person, and I will kill others too. I am God, and I do as I please. I am powerful. I am a perfected one, and I am satisfied with myself just as I am. And they carry on to say, I am rich and well born, who is my equal. And these are people coming from wealthy families as well, because they've been gifted with prosperity and everything they want. You get this as well from very wealthy people. They'll say, I'm rich, I'm well born, who is my equal? I will sacrifice and give charity as I choose. So I'll give to whoever I want when I choose and take pleasure in my own generosity. And you're seeing these people, very wealthy people do this. They do so bad on one side, like you've got the cigarette agencies. They know they're killing us by making cigarettes. You know, the warning is on the cigarette packet, but they're making so many millions. And on the other side, they're giving a huge check to charity. But they won't stop making the cigarettes that will destroy lungs. You really have to laugh at humanity sometimes. And people go, thank you for your check. And I'll go, Hari Om, give it back. Let the money come from a good source of income. Honesty. 16. Thus deluded and out of touch with reality, they go on and on. Bound by their own greed, they are trapped in false perceptions. And so addicted to lust gratification, they sink to a foul and hellish state. He's just reiterating what he said before. Blinded by pride and intoxicated by wealth, they obstinately cling to their self-conceits. Their so-called religious offerings, if any, are simply ostentatious, never performed in the spirit of the scriptures. And here brings to mind one Sanskrit story. There was once a very wealthy king, and he really wanted to learn about spirituality and divine, and somebody told him, well, there's this great sage living in the forest. He is wise, and he's ever content, and he's ever so happy. Learn from him, O king. So the king goes to meet this great saint in the forest and literally falls in love with his energy. And he says to the saint, oh, why are you living in this poor place? Come to my home. I have a palace. I will give you everything you need. I can make you so comfortable. And the saint goes, but I live under the stars and nature is my home. And the king said, please let me look after you. It is my joy. So to make the king happy, the saint went. And literally was given the most beautiful palatial room, and this guy was showing this king was showing this saint, look at my prayer room. Look at my prayer room. So much gold, so beautiful, all the gods there. And he says, you know, I do prayers every morning. And so he starts praying, and the saint is there watching him, really pleased. So anyway, he does some mantras, some prayers, and then at the end of the prayers, he goes, dear God, please, if only you would give me the village next door. If I could conquer it, then my empire would be perfect. So the saint got up, started to walk out of the room, and he goes, why are you leaving? Why are you leaving? He goes, I thought I was coming to the palace of a king, but I have entered the palace of a beggar. And he went back. You getting it? So many people can look very religious, But really, they still have a lot of, I want. Do you know what I mean? To conquer and kill another village just to make themselves richer is quite sad. They have given themselves over to the ego's selfish and insatiable lust for power, sex, and wealth. That's all they want. Lust, power, sex, and wealth. Arrogant, violent, and easily angered. They cruelly abuse my presence in themselves and others. And this is really interesting. When you start to behave in this way, when any of us start to behave in this way, lust for power, sex, and wealth, arrogant, violent, and easily angered, we are abusing the divine in ourselves. In ourselves and in others. Malicious, cruel, and filled with hatred, these are the worst of humanity. Birth after birth, I cast such self-degraded evildoers into the wombs of those with demonic natures. What is he saying now? He's saying their karma will keep coming back to the same kind of people again and again and again until one day they get so fed up. Like I said, some of the people I meet are really interesting. They've done a lot of evil things in their life. And sometimes when they come to me and they go, I've done this, I'm really a bad person, but I really want to change. They're so fed up. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this. I want to get out of that hell. Right? And they know it's hell. They see it. I feel that they've done this so many lifetimes. And now they have decided in this lifetime, they don't want to come back and do it again. And it's almost like they know they've had enough. It's really very interesting for me to watch that. They are so deluded, Arjuna, that again and again they are reborn with ingrained demonic habits, and failing to reach me, they continue to sink further. Hell has 3 gates of self-destruction. This is hell. These are the 3 gates of destroying yourself. Lust, anger, and greed. Therefore, renounce them. If you have any of those things, renounce them. 22. Whoever is good and does good escapes from these 3 gates of darkness and instead rises to the supreme goal of life. Whoever does good escapes these 3 gates. So, of course, when you're doing good things, you're in a positive mind, you're feeling good about yourself, you're not in darkness, you're not in a bad place, are you? You're in a nice place. And this is why all the great saints say, do karma yoga, serve, love, give. But those who disregard the scriptural teachings and instead follow the impulse of their selfish desires do not attain the supreme goal of life, nor true happiness, nor success. So if you disregard the scriptural teachings, non-violence, truthfulness, non-stealing, balance in everything you do in life, non-greed, then you will never know happiness or success. Practice those things and you will know happiness or success. And 24, the last sloka. In order to know what to do and what not to do, let the scripture be your guide. And when you understand the scriptural guidance, you will know how to live happily in this world. And this we finish chapter 16, the yoga of the divine and demonic qualities. So very simply is telling us, guiding us as a teacher, Lord Krishna, what to do with our lives, how to behave. Saint Francis did the same. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's hatred, let me bring love. And it goes on. basically, if we develop these qualities in ourselves and focus on that, we will live a divine life, heaven on earth. And adversities will come. It doesn't mean adversities do not happen. They happen to everyone. They will come. But we'll be strong because we're living a nice life, and you will feel protected. You will. This is the gift that is promised to us over and over again in every scripture. You will feel protected even in your worst times. And that's happened to me all my life, so I can guarantee that's happened to you. It's happened to you, all of us in this room. And every time you go through a bad time, remember how you got through it. Remember how I got through this horrible time, and look, I'm fine today. Remember how you get through difficult times. You've done it so many times. You can do it again. And even more, when you live this way, the more you live that way, it seems like you get lots more. I always say, you get one bad karma, and immediately the next day you get another good karma. Or something really bad karma happens, and then you go, one bad karma gone. I must have done something to hurt somebody in my life. For me, it's always my feet, stubbing my toe, fracturing my feet. And I always make a joke to everybody around me, especially Les. Oh, I must have kicked so many people in my last life. I'm getting back all my bumps. And we literally have to laugh, you know. It's because it's quite funny. And I go, one bad karma gone, you know. Or some pain, some extreme pain. And then you go, oh, good, accepting pain for? Good, you know your Sri Patanjali. Book 2, Sutra 1. Accepting pain for purification. Pain happens to everyone. When I get through this without, oh, my God, you don't love me. It's all your fault. God, that this happened. Oh, so much sadness, isn't it? It's horrible. You just feel like horrible. You go, it's happened. I'm going to cry. Okay, it's horrible, but I'm going to get through it. You got it? Poor God, what has God done? You created that life. You got involved in that situation. Nobody told you to go there. You went there. You wanted to go there. Now it's gone wrong. Accept the pain and move on. It will take time. Accepting pain for purification, Sri Patanjali tells us, is tapas. What does tapas mean? Burning. You will burn. But it's okay. After you burn for 2 or 3 months, you will fly and you'll be free. So don't worry about the burning. It will pass. Isn't it true? Do you have an argument, lovely young people here today, when you have an argument for your friends, don't you get really sad? But then after a few days, isn't it just fine? Yeah, you see, things pass, right? Good girl. Thank you. She's nodding her. She's really sweet. Thank you. So, yeah. Young people know it. When we get old, we forget it. And I'll finish off with this story about young people. So there was this great teacher, and everybody used to come to this great teacher because he was so clever and he was so smart. One by one, the students started to go to a different place. So he goes, who are you going to? Say, oh, this Buddhist monk. I want to meet your Buddhist monk. So he goes to meet the Buddhist monk. And he goes to the Buddhist monk and he says, oh, I hear you're very great. All my students, talk about you. Really? Tell me, what can you teach me? Arrogantly, because he thinks he's so great, right? And the monk answers simply, do good and be good. And he says, what? Every child knows that. They learn that in nursery school. And then the monk looks at him and says, the Buddhist monk looks at him and says, but not everyone grown up lives it. Because if he was good, he would never speak like that to any teacher, would you? It's so disrespectful. He can say, teach me. I'd like to learn, but what have you got that I haven't got, kind of reaction, And that's arrogance. So, children, every child knows it, but as we grow up, we forget. Do good and be good. And sometimes things go wrong. No big deal. It'll pass. It will pass.